Live from WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition, News at 10, with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition, News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Wednesday, April 24th, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugart. Tonight, details of a merger announced today between the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance and the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I had the chance to sit down with the CEOs for both organizations. What they had to say about their new relationship is coming up. Plus, a former NBA star who has battled substance abuse gave some strong advice to students and parents at one area school tonight. Our L.A. Tyrone has his story. In sports, Beth Mensinger has local baseball and softball action. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek tells us how high the mercury will go. But first, it was a busy day in the WYLN newsroom today, and we begin tonight with a verdict in a trial that WYLN's Ann Ganley covered from gavel to gavel. The trial of Gail Schneider, charged in connection with a devastating fire in Cunningham in 2010. Ann Ganley was there as the verdict was read.
It took nearly an hour and a half for 12 jurors to come back with a verdict in the arson trial of 44-year-old Gail Schneider. Schneider was found guilty on all 7 counts against her. 4 charges of arson endangering a person, 1 charge of arson endangering property, 1 charge of reckless burning, and 1 charge of criminal mischief.
I can't tell you how happy I am. I'm so happy for the victims. It brings them some closure. Obviously, particularly the women who had to be saved from that building. They're going to be traumatized forever because of that, but at least this maybe can bring them some closure and some satisfaction that the responsible party will be held accountable.
Motive, opportunity, and need, the 3 words that both the defense and the prosecution wanted to prove to the jury. Assistant District Attorney Shannon Craig stated in her closing arguments that Schneider's opportunity came when she left Cousin Joe's on Main Street just before last call around 1:30 and before her car was seen passing PNC Bank at 1:58. What was she doing with those minutes in between? In the words of Craig, in the back stairwell of Lantern Lane, starting the fire. Schneider's attorney, William Mealy, says it was all speculation by the prosecution and no physical evidence. Craig adds that arson cases are one of the most difficult to take to trial. Victims including Barbara Reese and Nicole Buack, building owner Ken Tamborski, Valley Regional Fire Chief Rich Bogner, along with volunteer firefighters who responded that night of the fire, were in court today, happy to see a 2.5-year case come to a close. Nicole Buack, Schneider's neighbor and the woman whose door she carved die in and also keyed her car, was in the courtroom today as the verdict was read.
Finally, a sense of peace, closure, justice I definitely feel was served today. Now I can move on with my life. It's been a long 2.5 years. I don't have to live in fear anymore. I'm very happy, very satisfied.
Building owner Ken Tamborski says when the verdict was read that no one won, saying it was just justice being served.
After almost 3 years, I'm glad it's over. There's no winners here. I lost all the tenants, business tenants, state police, Commonwealth did a fantastic job. I mean, it's been a long fight, a long road, and hopefully everybody can move on now, and we can get on with our lives. I mean, it's been on hold for 3 years, and again, can't say there's no winners, but at the same time, finally justice got served.
Hazel Township volunteer firefighter Dave Basala testified for the prosecution and did a key piece of evidence for the jury, a video of the back stairwell on fire.
We are here. We came and testified last week, and we came today just for the verdict and the closing arguments. And I think it's a cut case. I mean, all the evidence proved that she was there at the time, and I think the Commonwealth put on a pretty good case for the jury.
His brother, Dan Basala, was one of the firemen hurt that night of the fire and taken to the hospital with a foot injury. He says he was glad he could see justice being served today.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's grateful that a person like this that could do this kind of harm to a building and elderly people that were in that home is off the streets. I'm glad the judge put her away and not gave her bail.
After the guilty verdict, prosecutors called her a flight risk and asked the judge to send her to the prison to protect the victims and the witnesses' well-beings. Schneider was then handcuffed and taken to the Luzerne County Prison to wait her sentencing date of June 24th at 9:30 in the morning. In Wilkes-Barre for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann. Well, tonight, Hazleton City Council met. Not much on the agenda. Again, council members tabled imposing a real estate tax, earned income tax, per capita tax, and resident tax. Again, no reason was given, but council did pass the second and third reading of the registration and licensure program for all rental properties.
The ordinance that was passed tonight for the rental registration was to get it moving along so that the city can put registrations out to rental homes so that they can actually pay the fee and get on the books. And I would like anybody who's in the city to contact the city if they think that a home that is next to them is a rental unit, or if they're splitting it up into a boarding house, to just call the code department and let them know. Because if we don't know that a house is a rental unit and they're not telling us, then they're in violation of that ordinance.
Also, council approved the 2011 audit, which contained a deficit of over $2 million. Current city administrator Steve Hahn said he's working to ensure that does not happen in 2013.
Past years, it was really difficult to be able to raise property taxes to bring in revenue, so the city had to do some other creative things to try to make the budget work. And when the county did the reassessment, it reset the clock and allowed property taxes to be increased, and that was something that was done. The budget has been set up and the revenues have been set up, so there is sufficient money coming in to pay any borrowing that the city has, and there's sufficient revenue in the budget. If there's a dollar's worth of expenditures, we can show you where the dollar came from.
Now, according to the audit firm, most of the deficit came from public safety. As WYLN reported live at 5 tonight, a major merger was announced today that will change the face of health care here in the Greater Hazleton area. Gary Perna reports.
Today, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance and Lehigh Valley Health Network announced they have signed an agreement for a full asset merger. The Greater Hazleton Health Alliance Board of Directors approved the merger on April 3rd, and the Lehigh Valley Health Network Board of Trustees Executive Committee approved it on April 16th. Jim Edwards is the CEO and president of the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. He believes this merger was the next logical step.
We've had a long-standing relationship with Lehigh Valley Hospital. They've been working with us on many clinical initiatives here that have meant a great deal, not just to this organization, but to the patients here in Hazleton. And this is just the next logical step in moving forward and working together more closely to provide expanded services, greater access to services, not only now, but as we move forward into the future.
Many we spoke with today here at the merger announcement between the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance and the Lehigh Valley Health Network say they are excited to see what is going to happen to bring the best health care around right here to Greater Hazleton.
I think it's a great opportunity and for the community that Lehigh Valley Network has joined with the merger with the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance. It lets us provide more services for the community that at one time we were unable to provide.
Following the announcement, we spoke with Dr. Gene Gorski, who is the medical director for the Alliance Medical Group.
I think what you're looking at here is a merging of the two strengths of the two groups. The inpatient side from Lehigh Valley and the Alliance bringing the outpatient side from here in the Hazleton area. And I think that we can share our abilities and cause a coming together of all of this to make us move forward from the standpoint of more efficient healthcare delivery to the population, and do it so on a way that it can be even more economical.
Donna Palermo, the president of the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, is happy to see this merger.
I think it's a great opportunity for Greater Hazleton, for the residents, for the entire community. The relationship that we already have with Lehigh Valley in our ER has been working for several years now, and I think with the added resources that Lehigh Valley healthcare system can bring to our community is just an added plus.
Dr. Ronald Swinford is the CEO of the Lehigh Valley Health Network. He believes this is a great move for both Hazleton and Lehigh Valley.
Two very comparably high-quality organizations, and the continuum of care that patients can now enjoy with the coordination across this network and our network will be a very good thing for the patients in the region.
Both say this was only step one. It could take a few months until the merger is complete. In Hazleton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. Now I'll have more from my exclusive sit-down interview with the president and CEOs of both healthcare facilities. Now that's coming up in just a few minutes on tonight's program. Well, she is a mom who became a household name thanks to reality TV show John and Kate Plus 8. Tonight, Kate Goslin took the time to come to Pottsville to support a grieving mother who lost her 2 little girls in a tragic car crash on Palm Sunday.
I'm happy to be here to help this family, absolutely. I know Brenda from another event that I did a while ago, and anything I can do to help this family, I mean, it's a hard situation, and whatever my being here does to help, I'm happy to do it.
Literally hundreds came to see and meet Kate Goslin to help raise some much-needed money for the Victoria Place Fund. As we reported, Victoria Place lost her 2 little girls, 6-year-old Cariana and 3-year-old Katrina, in a terrible car crash last month on Route 61. Fellow moms who know Victoria from Zumba class decided to use their exercise class they love to attract others to come out and help, and Kate Goslin's appearance and book signing made it more special for organizers Brenda Shuttler and Renee Amos.
Oh, wonderful. Her and I are Twitter buddies. I was responsible for getting her here, through social media. And, I met Kate at a former function, and she was wonderful. I reached out to her, and she was like, sure, anything I can do to help. And it's just wonderful having her here in the community, supporting this cause, and she really drew the people out also for this worthy cause.
We just wanted to hold a regular Zumba class and just donate the proceeds from the class to the family. Brenda put it out there to Kate about, did she want to come and help us out? Kate said yes, and this has just become, a big event, and we're hoping to raise, some money for the family.
We spoke to Victoria earlier, and she's ecstatic. She texted me all day today. A couple times told me she's in tears, saying she can't believe this, and I don't know how many times she thanked us. And Renee, she's like, tell Renee, and so she just is so appreciative of the community support. And this
The celebrity mom posed for photos and signed copies of her books and talked about her first ever cookbook entitled Love is in the Mix, which is due out in the fall. Now, if you missed tonight's special event at Trinity Lutheran Church for the Victoria Place family, donations can still be made to the Victoria Place Fund at Union Bank. A suburban Scranton police chief was arrested today, accused of intimidating a witness in a child sex abuse case involving a former teacher at Lakeland High School. Scott Township Police Chief James Romano has been off the job since the Attorney General's office began investigating him a few weeks ago. Today, police picked him up and arrested him and charged him with witness intimidation. Romano is accused of starting a sexual relationship with a 20-year-old woman who was a witness in the case. According to court papers, Romano started a sexual relationship with her after she came forward about the abuse that allegedly happened when she was a minor at Lakeland High School. Romano is jailed on $150,000 cash bail. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Well, time now to get our first look at the forecast. Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center right now to give us a preview. And, Joe, we can't wait for that mercury to rise and stay there.
Sure thing, Lisa. It was a nice day today. Temperature-wise, a little bit cooler for the next 2 days, but then after that, temperatures start to go up once again. We'll talk about the numbers in the 7-day forecast coming up.
Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Celebrate Heritage Sure Save's anniversary with Surefine Butter Quarters 1-pound package or Surefine Creamery Select Ice Cream 48 ounce. Your choice, only $1.78 each.
These local companies are part of a unique business-to-business organization called the Hazleton Area Networking Association. HANA members meet weekly to give and receive business leads, period. We help each other succeed, and we make money for our members. Join us for a free breakfast Wednesday, April 24th at Bonanza Steakhouse. The meeting starts at 7 a.m. because it's never too early to start making money. There's no obligation, no charge for breakfast, nothing to bring other than a stack of business cards and your interest in learning what other local businesses are doing to make money while you're still having coffee. Call Henry Werkheiser at 454-8767 to RSVP.
I used to think that me and my dad were just building a car. I realize now that it was a lot more than that.
That's the one, bud. Okay, come here. What's this guy right here? You know what that is?
Find the parts you need at Harry's You Pull It. Visit us online at WeGotUsed.com to shop our yard or visit us at one of our 3 locations in Pennsburg, Allentown, and Hazleton.
A rise in crime in our neighborhoods has triggered concern among area residents. To provide a forum for questions and a proactive approach to solutions, WYLN will broadcast live from the Wiltsey Center Crime at Home Part 2 Solutions, Monday, April 29th at 7 p.m. This town meeting will feature a panel of experts, including members of law enforcement, discussing the rise in crime and how to keep our neighborhoods safe. Area residents are encouraged to attend and comment. Crime at Home Part 2 Solutions, Monday, April 29th at 7 p.m. WYLN. We're your local network.
Oh, we had some rain around earlier this evening. Still some more rain as we head further out toward the west. Some locally heavy downpours. You can see some of those indicated by the yellows and oranges on our Live 35 Skycast Doppler. But really this line that was out toward the west, as it made its way toward the east, really started to fizzle apart and break up. Now, we do have some of that rain that's left over, as you can see on radar, but again, not nearly as bad as what it was like in western Pennsylvania and central Pennsylvania earlier today. Our lively high tire conditions outside our television station in Hazleton, hanging on to 56 degrees, humidity at 100%, and there you can see the winds averaging anywhere between 5 to as much as 15 miles per hour. We started out on a relatively chilly note this morning, generally in the 30s for low temperatures, but then we got up into the 60s and some locations into the 70s for daytime highs. So definitely a nice day weather-wise, temperature-wise, I should say, across our area. 58 now in New Angola, 56 in Jim Thorpe, 57 in Berwick, 55 in Monterey City, 55 in Danville. Satellite and radar, we had those severe thunderstorm watches that were posted, but if you notice the line that was out from the west making its way toward the east, it really started to weaken significantly. Still another line that I showed you on radar, and then a little bit of a break, and then still a little bit of some leftover scattered precip out toward the west, not a whole lot. This will be coming through our area through tonight, clearing out, and then heading into tomorrow. Things not looking too bad across our area. I think we will be dry. It will be cooler, only in the 50s, I think, for daytime highs. And Friday looks like we're only going to be looking at 50s for daytime highs. But then by this weekend, it looks like we're going to start to crank up those numbers once again, and we should be getting back up into the 60s this weekend, heading into next week. And finally, there are indications that I think now, as we're going to be starting to go into May, we're going to start to pan out temperature-wise, so to speak, and things should become more normal, if not a little bit above where we should be for this time of year. Because keep in mind, March and April, a whole heck of a lot can happen, especially here in the higher elevations of northeastern Pennsylvania. Again, tomorrow, generally 50s to near 60 degrees. It should be a nice day, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. And on the extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric, 54 for Friday. And then going into the weekend, we'll be up into the 60s and in the 60s as we head into next weekend, as we start the beginning of May already. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 255, the big 4, 4512. Quinto numbers looking like this: 18248, and a cash 5, 21, 24, 32, 35, and 37. Lisa.
Thank you, Joe. Coming up next, a Hazleton hospital will merge with a major health provider in the Lehigh Valley. My sit-down interview with the men who are at the helm of both organizations next.
I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WYLN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open-air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky treats, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
The WYLN Weather Center brings you precise weather information you need to plan your day. And now you can get the latest weather conditions online anytime at WYLNTV.com. Utilizing the latest technology, meteorologist Joe Garbacik brings you the most accurate weather information available, including webcams to view current road conditions and detailed maps of our area. For a full, detailed, and accurate daily weather report, watch WYLN Weather with Joe Garbacik weekdays at 5 and 10 and online anytime at WYLNTV.com.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
American Paper and Supply has a retail showroom in Berwick, but that's not what we're here for today. American Paper and Supply has everything for the commercial user. Restaurant, club and bar, nursing home, and industry. From commercial laundry cleaning and supplies to glassware, dishes, and aprons. American Paper and Supply has commercial dishwashing systems from lease to own, and they back everything with factory-trained service and parts department. So you may know us for our retail store, but American Paper and Supply is so much more.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm not smacking you with some snow. Yes. Yeah, because it's springtime in Pennsylvania. You know that means hockey, snow, shoveling. You know what else that means? No, what? We're getting ready for the 5th series of Off the Beaten Path. I actually did know that because we were doing a promo. It's a show that showcases interesting people, places, and things all across the great state of Pennsylvania. Off the Beaten Path. New episodes coming soon only on WYLN.
Welcome back. A major merger was announced this afternoon between the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance and the Lehigh Valley Health Network. Following today's announcement, I had the opportunity to sit down for an exclusive interview with Jim Edwards, the President and CEO of the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and Dr. Ronald Swinfard, the President and CEO of Lehigh Valley Health Network. Here now is a portion of that interview.
Good news today is that we are bringing together 2 outstanding healthcare organizations, 2 great teams that are focused on quality, on providing access to care. We've had a long-standing relationship with Lehigh Valley Hospital. They've been working with us on many clinical initiatives here that have meant a great deal, not just to this organization, but to the patients here in Hazleton. And this is just the next logical step in moving forward and working together more closely to provide expanded services, greater access to services, not only now, but as we move forward into the future in what is a very dynamically evolving healthcare landscape.
For many people, I'm sure many do know, but some do not, there has been a working relationship involving the ER and Lehigh Valley Hospital doctors for quite a while. So talk a little bit about that and how it then merged into what today became.
Yeah, the relationship started back in 2006, I believe, when we had discussions with Lehigh Valley Health Network. Their physicians, part of Lehigh Valley Physician Group, came to staff our emergency department here. We had renovated the emergency department, worked with them to bring really quality emergency physicians to this community. That's evolved into our MI Alert program for those patients who are having cardiac issues, our Stroke Alert program, our Teleburn program, our Tele-ID program, the teleprograms that we have for high-risk OB. So this was, for us, really just a natural extension to those relationships that have not just meant a lot for this organization, but they've meant such a great difference in the lives of so many patients here. I mean, the patients who are alive today or who are living much better lives than they would have otherwise if it had not been for this strong relationship that we have with Lehigh Valley Health Network.
So true. So many people were so pleased to see that relationship, and we've heard nothing but good remarks over the years with that going as well. But for Lehigh Valley, why Hazleton? Why was Hazleton such a good fit?
Well, first of all, as Jim has suggested here, our journey together has built confidence and trust in both the management team here and, as has been probably well publicized, the rising quality of care that's provided at Hazleton. And so Hazleton Hospital has increasingly been focused on high-quality care, good financial management, and so it's the sort of partner that you seek. And as someone else characterized this, we've been dating for quite some time. It's maybe time to get engaged or more, and so as of today, we're engaged, and if the regulators let us, we'll get married.
Obviously, today's announcement will impact a lot of people, and we'll start, I guess, first of all, what does it mean for the employees who are already employed by the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance?
You know, I think it means expanded opportunity. I agree with Dr. Swinford. I think people who are in healthcare are very special people. They have a calling. They're here to care for people. It's not just a job. And I think it gives those people an opportunity to expand what they do best, bringing additional resources to the table. This is about growth. It's about providing opportunity for those people who would like to advance within an organization. So I look at this as being a very positive development for our employees. I think we're going to continue to grow as an organization. I think we would have done that independently, but now I think this just provides an impetus to allow us to achieve at a much higher level, and I think it's going to mean a lot to the employees as far as from a financial standpoint. Obviously, everyone wants to keep their job. We're going to be able to expand the roles and allow an opportunity for advancement for those individuals who are seeking that.
And for the physicians, the Alliance Medical Group, does that mean any change for them?
Alliance Medical Group, they've done just a tremendous job. We've been growing. We've been bringing existing physicians in the community on board, as well as recruiting physicians externally to come to our community. They are really coming together as a very dynamic provider of medical services and surgical services in this community. I think what it means for them is that they are going to be a separate division, a distinct part unit of Lehigh Valley Physician Group, which I think will be important to them, that they feel that they have a level of independence, but at the same time being part of a 600-plus physician group is going to provide enormous resources to them that we would never be able to provide in a community here like Hazleton. So I know in the conversations that I have had with physicians in Alliance Medical Group, they find it to be a very exciting development, one that they're eager to become part of, and they feel is not only going to be good for them, but what all our physicians are most concerned about, it's going to be very good for the treatment of their patients.
For the people who are watching right now, what will it mean for them? Will we see new services provided here in Hazleton, that they will not have to travel? However, if they do need to travel, there will be more of a cohesive collaboration of everyone involved, that if they do need to go somewhere in Lehigh Valley, there'll be a stronger working relationship involved as well.
Well, we hope that most of that care is provided here. We're not entering into this partnership with the idea that we are going to pull all of the health care out of the Hazleton area. That's not the intention. The intention is to sustain the high quality that Hazleton has established, continue to work together with what they have learned on their journey and we have learned on ours with regard to quality, to continue to elevate that quality. And that care coordination is so important.
Now, special thanks to both gentlemen for taking the time on their busy day today to sit down and talk with me. I do appreciate it. Also, we will post my entire interview along with Gary's report on our Facebook page for everyone to view. And again, that merger could take as long as 6 to 9 months to be completed. When we come back, Beth is in with sports, so don't go anywhere.
The friendly people at Pantry Quick at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton for decades has been your first stop for lottery tickets, munchies, and soda. Now Pantry Quick is your first stop for 6-packs of your favorite beer. All the domestic name brands such as Budweiser, Coors Light, and Miller Lite, Landshark, and Yuengling. Pantry Quick also carries a large variety of imports and craft beers. Stop in today to Pantry Quick, now carrying all your favorite beers at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
The WYLN Weather Center brings you precise weather information you need to plan your day. And now you can get the latest weather conditions online anytime at WYLNTV.com. Utilizing the latest technology, meteorologist Joe Garbacic brings you the most accurate weather information available, including webcams to view current road conditions and detailed maps of our area. For a full detailed and accurate daily weather report, watch WYLN Weather with Joe Garbacic weekdays at 5 and 10 and online anytime at WYLNTV.com.
Well, it was a gorgeous afternoon for some more high school softball and baseball action. Tonight we begin right here in Hazleton. The 8-1 Lady Cougars lead Division I in the Wyoming Valley Conference. This afternoon, they hosted the Berwick Lady Bulldogs in an interdivision matchup. In Division II, Berwick sits in the number 2 spot with a record of 4-2. The Lady Cougars jumped out to an early 1-0 lead and held the Lady Bulldogs off the scoreboard until the 5th inning with the bases loaded. For Berwick in the top of the 5th, Margaret Bridge singled to drive in 2 Bulldogs and gave Berwick the 2-1 lead. Hits by Taylor Kern and Abby Remley extended the Bulldog lead 6-1. Then it's the Lady Cougars. They would not back down, however, scoring 4 runs with hits from Abby Satch and Lexi Wolk to cut the deficit to 6-5. Margaret Bridge would induce here a 6-4-3 double play to secure the victory for the Lady Bulldogs. The final in Hazleton, Berwick 6, Hazleton area 5. After the game, we did stop and talk to Berwick coach Brian Bridge about the win.
Well, it was a battle. It was a battle. We knew coming in here it was going to be a really, really tough game. They're a great team, Hazleton. We knew it, undefeated. We've been trying to beat them for several years now, and we finally got the monkey off our back here, and that was our goal this year, is to make sure that we come up here to their field and gave them one heck of a game.
With winning pitcher Margaret Bridge.
Well, we scored a lot of runs in the 5th inning, and everybody played a part in that. And I always know they have my back out there on the field. I made some great plays in the last inning, so couldn't ask for a better team behind me.
Also taking the field tonight in the Schuylkill League, the Marion Colts and the Tri-Valley Bulldogs. In Division II, Tri-Valley's record stands at 6-3. The Colts not far behind at 5-4. Bottom of the 3rd, Mike Cataldo is on first. Nick Quitter will bunt for the Colts, and on errors, Cataldo will round the bases, and he will cross the plate first, putting Marion up 1-0. Then we're going to move to the top of the 4th. With the bases loaded, Gavin Klein will walk. Dalton Miller will score for the Bulldogs. Then Tri-Valley's Ty Wazenegger rips a single up the middle, and that hit will bring 2 runs home. It's Tri-Valley up 3-1. Moving to the top of the 7th, it's all tied up at 3. Colin Mauer will hit a double for Tri-Valley, bringing Hunter Bordner across the plate to put the Bulldogs up 1. Then Dalton Miller here will be called out at home. But the fun continues in the 7th for Tri-Valley. Conrad Opoza will drive one past the Marion shortstop for the single and will bring in 2 RBIs. They go up by 3 runs, and the Bulldogs will hold on to the Schuylkill League win over Marion. The final, Bulldogs 7, Colts 3. Coming off a big win yesterday, the Marion Catholic Phillies headed to Tri-Valley. They fell 7-1. The Lady Bulldogs won. Marion will host the Pius X tomorrow afternoon at home. And in the Wyoming Valley Conference tonight, Anthony Craig has 2 hits for the Cougars as Hazleton area falls to Wyoming area 7-3. I will be back with the second half of sports in a few minutes, so stay tuned. But first, Lisa Sugar has your top story recap.
Providence Place offers seniors a wealth of choices to stay independent and self-reliant, as well as support their desire to be part of a caring and active community. Their program of layered service levels provides choice and recognizes that sometimes short spans of illness or recuperation require additional support services. Their park-like setting and barrier-free design allow for easy movement and access throughout the facility. Beautifully appointed rooms, spacious grounds, hospitable common areas. Everything they do is based on providing a safe, comfortable living experience. Call them today for a tour of the facility.
Recapping tonight's top story, a verdict in a trial that WYLN's Ann Ganley covered from gavel to gavel. The trial of Gail Schneider, charged in connection with a devastating fire in Cunningham. Ann Ganley was there today for the verdict.
It took nearly an hour and a half for 12 jurors to come back with a verdict in the arson trial of 44-year-old Gail Schneider. Schneider was found guilty on all 7 counts against her. 4 charges of arson endangering a person, 1 charge of arson endangering property, 1 charge of reckless burning, and 1 charge of criminal mischief.
I can't tell you how happy I am. I'm so happy for the victims. It brings them some closure. Obviously, particularly the women who had to be saved from that building. They're going to be traumatized forever because of that, but at least this maybe can bring them some closure and some satisfaction that the responsible party will be held accountable.
Motive, opportunity, and need, the 3 words that both the defense and the prosecution wanted to prove to the jury. Assistant District Attorney Shannon Craig stated in her closing arguments that Schneider's opportunity came when she left Cousin Joe's on Main Street just before last call around 1:30 and before her car was seen passing PNC Bank at 1:58. What was she doing with those minutes in between? In the words of Craig, in the back stairwell of Lantern Lane, starting the fire. Schneider's attorney, William Mealy, says it was all speculation by the prosecution and no physical evidence. Craig adds that arson cases are one of the most difficult to take to trial. Victims including Barbara Reese and Nicole Buack, building owner Ken Tamborski, Valley Regional Fire Chief Rich Bogner, along with volunteer firefighters who responded that night of the fire, were in court today, happy to see a 2.5-year case come to a close. Nicole Buack, Schneider's neighbor and the woman whose door she carved die in and also keyed her car, was in the courtroom today as the verdict was read.
Finally, a sense of peace, closure, justice I definitely feel was served today. Now I can move on with my life. It's been a long 2.5 years. I don't have to live in fear anymore. I'm very happy, very satisfied.
Building owner Ken Tamborski says when the verdict was read that no one won, saying it was just justice being served.
After almost 3 years, I'm glad it's over. There's no winners here. I lost Nicole, the tenants, business tenants, state police, Commonwealth did a fantastic job. I mean, it's been a long fight, a long road, and hopefully everybody can move on now, and we can get on with our lives. I mean, it's been on hold for 3 years, and again, can't say there's no winners, but at the same time, finally justice got served.
Hazel Township volunteer firefighter Dave Basala testified for the prosecution and also provided a key piece of evidence for the jury, a video of the back stairwell on fire.
We are here. We came and testified last week, and we came today just for the verdict and the closing arguments. And I think it's a cut case. I mean, all the evidence proved that she was there at the time, and I think the Commonwealth put on a pretty good case for the jury.
His brother, Dan Basala, was one of the firemen hurt that night of the fire and taken to the hospital with a foot injury. He says he was glad he could see justice being served today.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's grateful that a person like this that could do this kind of harm to a building and elderly people that were in that home is off the streets is great. I'm glad the judge put her away and not gave her bail.
After the guilty verdict, prosecutors called her a flight risk and asked the judge to send her to the prison to protect the victims and the witnesses' well-beings. Schneider was then handcuffed and taken to the Luzerne County Prison to wait her sentencing date of June 24th at 9:30 in the morning. In Wilkes-Barre for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you very much, Ann. That's tonight's top story recap. When we come back, a former NBA star was in hometown tonight. He had an important message for students and parents. L.A. Tyrone will recap his story, plus Beth's back in with the second half of sports.
We've got some rain moving through our area right now as I speak. When will it move away and what can we expect next couple of days? I'll let you know coming up next.
Longing for the warm days of summer? Well, you can get your favorite taste of summer right now. Rita's on the Airport Road in Hazel Township is now open for the season. Check out their new ice flavors like chocolate chip cookie dough ice, plus all your favorites like gelati, mistos, blendinis, milkshakes, and new for spring, unlimited topping sundaes. Why choose just one when you can have them all for one low price? Rita's, now open. Stop in today.
What in the... Tom, it is 2 a.m.
You know, I just love this on-demand thing. Tons of extra choices, pause, rewind.
You are always here watching my on-demand. Why don't you just get rid of your dish and get digital cable yourself?
You know, I'd love to. But I still have 7 months left on my contract.
Service Electric Digital Cable with on-demand. The best TV in the neighborhood.
I'm Tiffany Cloud. A few years ago, Luzerne County government changed to an 11-member county council. A new county manager was hired, and a year later, what is the state of the county? How do you think the county manager performed his first year on the job? Robert Lawton, Luzerne County manager, joins me this week on Storm Politics only on WYLN.
Tonight, Marion Catholic High School in hometown hosted a former professional athlete who has a compelling story with a strong message. Our L.A. Tyrone has more.
Remember Chris Herron? The co-presidents of the group at Marion, which hosted him tonight, can't remember him playing, but they do know who he is.
We're co-presidents of Marion Catholic High School's SAD group, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. We just do different things around our school that help make the kids aware of destructive decisions that, we face and ways to help them with it, such as, bullying, drugs, alcohol, just things like that affect us.
He started what's called Project Purple, which helps people who have, had to do with substance abuse and alcohol abuse, because that's what he went through early in his life, and he wants to help as many people as he can get over what he struggled with.
Well, that's sort of the Reader's Digest version. Chris Herron had a long, strange trip.
Over the last 3 years, I've traveled all across the country. This is actually my second time back in this region. I've spoke at Jim Thorpe here tonight, Stroudsburg, Hatterboro, Horsham, a lot of communities within a certain range. But it's just raising awareness, educating, and bringing this message out in the front, that anything can happen with a few bad choices. I had no idea that one pill would put me on heroin for 8 years, and that's my message to a lot of the kids.
Herron made more than a few and lived to tell about it. 19 years ago, he was a hotshot point guard from Massachusetts who had schools lining up to recruit him. He graduated from Durfee High School in Fall River, having scored almost 2,100 points. He turned down offers from Kentucky and Duke to play at Boston College. In his senior year, Herron was named the Boston Globe and Gatorade Player of the Year, but before even playing, he failed a drug test for pot and cocaine. When he did get to play, he hit with a bag. In his first game at BC, he scored 14 points in 21 minutes. Even Allen Iverson never did that. Rolling Stone and Sports Illustrated put him on the cover with stories inside about how he was the next Jerry West. But he broke his wrist and was out for the entire 94-95 season. And within 3 months of his injury, he failed 2 more drug tests and was kicked off the team and out of school. Herron transferred to Fresno State. After sitting out a year, he debuted in 1996, and in November of 1997, 3 years after breaking his wrist, he was found to have failed another drug test. After going to a rehab center for 28 days, he returned in January, then played 86 games at Fresno State, averaging 15 points and 5 assists. No longer billed as the coming whiz kid, he was drafted by the Denver Nuggets in the second round with the 33rd pick and later traded to Boston. He played 70 games between 1999 and 2001 as a Celtic and a Nugget. He averaged only 3.2 points per game for his NBA career. After being released by the Celtics, he played in Europe, but the drug problems haunted him. He's been busted 7 times. He used painkillers, OxyContin, Vicodin, and Percocet, as well as heroin. Upon returning from playing overseas, he started using crystal meth. Back home in Fall River, he OD'd on heroin and crashed into a utility pole, and paramedics say he was dead for 30 seconds. Since then, he's turned it around. He's been drug and alcohol-free since 2008, and in 2009, he started Hoop Dreams with Chris Herron, a basketball player development company to mentor players on and off the court. And he's got more notoriety for it than he did in his playing days. He also says Hoop Dreams has evolved.
You know, I did the documentary, I wrote the book in hopes of making a difference in people's lives. And to be honest, when I first did it, it was more geared towards struggling addicts and not really geared towards kids. It's kind of evolved to that. And there is nothing more rewarding than walking into a school and seeing kids in purple, getting emails from kids saying, you know, I could have went out this weekend, I chose not to. So that's kind of where my life has turned in that direction, and it's a blessing.
For those who need help,
life gets easier. You know, the beginning is rough, but the doors that open and the life you can live is second to none in recovery.
Chris Herron knows of where he speaks. L.A. Tyrone, WYLN's Late Edition.
Thanks, L.A. An important message tonight at Marian Catholic. Beth's back in with the second half of sports, and Joe will recap your forecast, so stay with us.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family-owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at WYLN, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, PA, during normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Everyone knows that Bottlenecks is the home of award-winning wings and mouth-watering steaks, but now a new tasty reason to stop by. Brand new fire-grilled ribs. A half rack of meaty, fall-off-the-bone St. Louis-style spare ribs, fire-grilled to perfection. And the best night to give them a try is Thursday for Rack 'em Up Rib Night, featuring the delicious ribs served with bottomless fries for only $9.95. Bottlenecks is open 7 days a week. The kitchen is open till midnight every day. There's always a reason to stop by Bottlenecks.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. We're going to meet Liz Morris, a very dedicated, very disciplined athlete who's using chiropractic treatment to help keep her well and fit and ready for the ring. It's coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Saturday afternoon, sophomore quarterback for Penn State University Stephen Bench took a number of snaps under center at the annual blue and white scrimmage. Today, only a few days later, Bench has been guaranteed a release to transfer from the Penn State football program. He will stay with the university until May 3rd and then will look to play elsewhere. On Twitter, Bench said he decided to leave Happy Valley and go to a school that will give him the opportunity to compete for the quarterback spot and reach his full potential. There are a number of players competing for the starting spot for the Nittany Lions, including sophomore Tyler Ferguson and incoming freshman Christian Hackenberg, DJ Crook, and Austin Whipple. Also today, the playoff system for college football was officially set. The college football playoff will be the name of the four-team playoff, which starts after the 2014 regular season. Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas will be awarded the first college football playoffs national championship to be held January 12th in 2015. The Fiesta, Cotton, and Chick-fil-A Bowls will join the Rose, Sugar, and Orange Bowls in the six-bowl semifinal rotation for the new playoff. The semifinal rotation will be the Rose and Sugar Bowls hosting the semifinals in 2015. The Orange and the Cotton Bowls will host in 2016, and the Fiesta and Chick-fil-A will host in 2017. They will keep that rotation through January 2026. The city of Philadelphia will bid on the 2024 Olympics. Mayor Mike Nutter sent a letter to the U.S. Olympic Committee confirming the commitment. The USOC previously wrote to the 25 largest cities in the U.S., along with the cities that have expressed interest, to find out who would want to host the 2024 Olympic Games. In 2006, city officials launched an organization, Philadelphia 2016, to make a bid for the 2016 Olympics. All-Star balloting officially kicked off for Major League Baseball today. The ballot is online and also available on paper at all Major League parks. Once again, the ballot is featuring the Home Run Derby fan poll. Fans will have the opportunity to select 3 players in each league whom they'd like to see in it. The All-Star teams will be unveiled Sunday, July 7th on TBS. And it looks as though someone had sticky fingers and stole the plaque commemorating Barry Bonds' 756th home run at AT&T Park. Team spokesman Stacey Slaughter said the Giants are planning to replace it. There are no suspects in the theft so far. Now let's check out tonight's national scoreboard. The NBA playoffs continue, and Oklahoma City wins 105-102 over the Rockets. It's the Pacers winning against the Hawks tonight, 113-98, and the Lakers and the Spurs. Close game. They are tied at 43 at last look. That was just 2 minutes left in the first half. In the Eastern League for baseball, bottom of the 7th, the Fightin' Phils up 6-4, and Akron wins 5-4 over Trenton. In the International League, a day-night doubleheader for the Iron Pigs. They fall to Indianapolis in the first game 4-1, but come back and take game 2 6-3. And the Rail Riders played an early game today. They fell to Columbus 5-4, and the Norfolk Tides also fall today against Charlotte 6-5. In the majors, in 11 innings, the Blue Jays win 6-5 over the Orioles, and the White Sox and the Astros get wins also. Boston wins at Fenway 6-5 over the A's. Royals fall to the Tigers, and the Rays shut out the Yanks. And no score right now in the top of the second between Texas and the Angels. In the National League, Reds and the Cardinals get W's. In 12, it's the Rockies 6-5 over the Braves. Going 10 innings, D-backs take it over the Giants 3-2. Extra innings for the Dodgers and the Mets. Right now they are tied at 3. And the Phillies fell to the Pirates 5-3. No score yet between the Brewers and the Padres. And lastly tonight in the NHL, the Maple Leafs fell to Tampa Bay. Detroit downs the Kings 3-1 in the second period. Chicago has the 2-1 advantage over Edmonton. And Phoenix has the 1-0 lead over San Jose. Stick around. Joe's back next with the rest of your weather.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital, as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First-time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road, near Rockland. 384-2314. Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Line, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Major League Stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
Well, we have a full moon out there on the horizon heading into tomorrow, and anytime you have a full moon for this time of year throughout the month of April, it's what's known as a pink moon. It's also called a fish egg or sprouting moon, and it will be in full tomorrow officially at 3:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, there will be also a partial lunar eclipse, but if you really want to see it that bad, well, you're going to have to take a plane, and you're going to have to go to Africa, Europe, Australia, or Asia. But it cannot be viewed in the United States. But quite honestly, take my word, it's not worth your time going there to see it because it's going to be less than 27 minutes in length. So a very short one, and unfortunately we cannot see any of it right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. What we can see right now, or what we can feel if you walk outside, happens to be some of the rain that's falling across our area. Some of it heavy at times, as indicated by the yellows and oranges on our live 35 Skycast Doppler. This is moving through. It will get out of here. And notice behind this, bringing in some colder air. Some of the pinks indicating a little bit of some rain and, dare I say, snow mixed. Sure I can, because that's what's actually happening across parts of the central and western state of Pennsylvania. In fact, wait till I show you those numbers. They're just downright chilly. 50 degrees outside our station in Hazleton, our live Lehigh Tire conditions. And we've picked up a decent amount. I mean, more than just a tad. In fact, picking in at about 1/10 of an inch or so. And we're going to add to that number just a little bit more. And you can see those winds at time 10, 15, 20 or so miles per hour. So we have the cold air in place, the frontal boundary making its way toward the east. Ahead of the front, still mild. Behind the front, temperatures really start to drop, and they will continue to drop through the overnight hours. Here's a look at the temperatures now. 53 in Mount Pocono, 59, Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 54 in Selinsgrove, 42 in State College. And notice temperatures in the 30s. Yeah, 30s in western Pennsylvania. Still nice, though, in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures in the upper 50s. So there were severe thunderstorm watches in effect. They have now since expired. And heading into tomorrow, not looking too bad. Heading in Friday, not looking too bad. It should be dry, but cool. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire guys at the Division of Arc Electric. Once we head into this upcoming weekend, we start to crank those numbers again upward into the 60s, and I think we'll stay into the 60s as we go into next week with beginning part of May.
Are you having chair difficulties again?
This chair This chair, you know what? This chair becomes no more. It's on the side. So with that, I'll say an early good night. Good night, all.
He never ceases to amaze us, I swear. We have no trouble with these chairs, and Joe always has a problem with the chair.
What's the chair's problem?
I don't know, or else maybe there are elves that are, messing around with it on them. See what Joe does tomorrow night. Tune in live at 10. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
I want to miss it.